Don't run out of beer, folks. Don't run out of beer and don't run out of money. DJ Wonder Chrissy back at it. We're going to talk a little bit about finances here. I got a nice video here that talks. We got a border crisis. We got a fentanyl crisis. We got all sorts of crisis going on. So here's another one to add. It's been brewing for many, many, many years. The government just came out with a report last week where I think the CBOE said that Social Security and Medicare are 175 trillion in debt, unfunded. Let me say that again, 175 trillion. That's like our national debt right now is only 34 trillion. So compare 34 to 175, and it's a big number, folks. It's unmanageable and incomprehensible. It's a huge number. Well, anyway, I also saw an article that said 20% of the people that have retired in the last couple of years have decided to go back to the workforce at least part-time due to high inflation, bad economy, take your pick. So there is a retirement crisis brewing, if not already bubbling. So let's look at this report from Fox News. And, I'm always here telling you guys to be prepared spiritually, physically, financially, from a security standpoint. Be prepared in many ways and walk with God, folks. That's the biggest thing. You got to walk with God and pray for things, and they will happen, okay? And you also need to take some action too. Like we're not giving financial advice, but having some of this stuff, and you might want to have some of this stuff around too. There's banks that are going to be going under in the next couple of weeks. You don't want your money stuck in a bank, so you better have a little stash somewhere, right? So let's look at this video here about our Senate lawmakers are going to try to save us and solve America's retirement crisis that's been brewing for 30, 40 years, actually, folks. So here we go.
The record number of Americans reaching retirement age.
What is concerning, the number of baby boomers.
Notice how she says that. Reaching retirement age doesn't mean that they're retiring. They're reaching retirement age. And we'll talk more about that on the other side.
Who are unprepared to leave the workforce.
Jerry Willis has more on what is being done to keep them financially afloat.
The Senate Health Committee, Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, holding a hearing to address what they call a retirement crisis. Lawmakers are warning that it could have devastating economic consequences. The solution, according to Bernie Sanders, who is chair of the Health Committee, is for companies to offer old-fashioned pension plans. But companies have been moving away from pensions for decades. Just 15% of private industry workers are covered by pensions. Among companies that offer retirement plans, most are 401ks, which require workers to contribute. Pensions typically don't have that requirement. Listen.
The last thing that Americans need is for lawmakers to try to put more of their retirement savings into accounts that they neither own nor control, and which are managed by groups of people who've repeatedly put their own personal incentives above workers' and retirees' well-being.
Those without savings planning to rely on Social Security, but...
Look at those numbers. That's startling, right? You used to be able to live off of Social Security. Now you can't. Look at those numbers. That's a huge gap there. That's like 50% of what you actually need.
That won't likely cover their living costs. The average monthly Social Security check is $1,800, while the average 65-plus household spends more than $4,000 per month. And 401ks do work for people who save. The number of 401k millionaires is in striking distance of an all-time high. Fidelity reporting the number of seven-figure 401k accounts it administers jumped 20% in 2023's final quarter to 422,000. In New York, Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
So there you go. So I know we all probably know people that are ready to retire. We all know people that want to retire. I know a lot of people that want to retire, but they didn't do all the dirty work to be able to retire, and they're now kicking themselves in the butt for what they didn't do years ago. So you just don't retire overnight, folks. I'm here to tell you that. I've been retired now for probably 5 years. I spent a lot of time preparing, okay? Went through the 2008 financial crisis and took it on the nose. I mean, I was able, luckily for myself, the thing about the 2008 crisis is I was able to hang on to my investments. As low as they went, and they did go low, I was able to hang on. I didn't have to sell. I know a lot of people that had to sell during the peak of the crisis, a lot of people that got divorced, a lot of people that lost their houses, a lot of people that took out 401k loans during the low point. Not a good time. That's a bad combination. But anyway, and these were people that work for Fortune 500 companies. You'd think they would be smarter than that, but they weren't. They were fiscally irresponsible in their lives on many, many different levels. So just because you work for a good company doesn't mean that you're fiscally responsible and you're not immune to financial havoc that can happen in anybody's life, right? I mean, you could overextend yourself. We all know people that buy stuff that they want, not necessarily what they need. Let me say that again. We all know people who buy stuff that they want, not necessarily what they need. There's a difference. There's a difference. It's a lot of hard work to save money. It's a lot of hard work to save $1 million. It doesn't happen overnight. If you go out and look, here's a tip for you, or here's a fact. The highest percentage of age group that is utilizing the Illinois State sports book is the 21 to 32 or 36 age range. They are the big spenders when it comes to sports books. And you got to wonder if they just think it's their way to get rich, right? They're looking for that quick and dirty, easy way to get rich. And I got a feeling that very few of them will. I think there's more of them that'll probably go broke before they'll get rich. But anyway, so there's a fun fact for you. The generation coming up, the millennials and the Gen Z, they're looking for that quick and easy way to get rich. Some of them are already living off their parents. We've done videos in the past on this channel where, a world-renowned savings expert, Susie Orman, says that. I forget what the number is. It's a huge number. There's a large percentage of parents who have kids in that same age range, that 21 to 36, where their parents are forking over anywhere from $900 to $1,500 a month. And their kids are working. Their kids are working in some way, shape, or form. And some of them are college graduates, yet their parents are supporting them. It's crazy, right? We're all crazy, and it's not just Chicago. Kudos to our opening song, We're All Crazy in Chicago, Johnny and the Leisure Suit from 1985, folks. So there's a word of warning. You got to be mentally, physically, and financially fit, folks. It's just don't pick one of them. You got to be working on all of them all the time. Otherwise, you're not going to retire. And they're saying that Social Security is going to run out in 2033. And that's coming quick. We're in 2024. It's only 9 years away. And I would expect that you'll see cuts, massive cuts, and changes to the program as we move forward, because there is just nothing being done about it, and it's been left to run off the tracks, and they ain't getting back on anytime soon. Sorry to bring you bad news, but if you were smart, you should save and save more right now. Because don't depend on Social Security, and some of these pension funds too are starting to have issues. So buyer beware. We need to save. Everyone needs to save, not just the rich. Even the poor need to save. It's not how much you make, folks. It's what you save, and I'm here to tell you that. DJ Wonder Chrissy over in